Okay, hello, everyone. I'm a little confused today because I don't know what's going on with this live. So I just had a broadcast, but we're gonna do this again. Okay, so today's topic is Supreme Court strikes down affirmative action in college admissions. Okay, my thoughts on this is this: Supreme Court got it wrong. Supreme Court was very wrong because the premise of this whole argument, the case that was brought to the Supreme Court, the premise is assuming that blacks are benefiting from affirmative action, which is completely wrong because affirmative action was never written specifically for black Americans, descendants of slaves. The law, affirmative action law, reads the word minority. It does not specifically address black Americans. So striking down affirmative action as if it was a benefit of solely for black Americans is racist and wrong. But that's fine because affirmative action has not benefited black America. Affirmative action has never benefited black America. All right? Ironically, it benefits white women and Asians. All right? Somehow Asians assumed that they were not affirmative actions, admissions. But if you read and you look up the college admissions, they are going to list Asians as a part of the minority student body. So therefore, they are a direct beneficiary of affirmative action by a lot. Okay? Okay. So this whole case is just a whole bunch of racist premise and assumptions that's going on with the Supreme Court case and attacking affirmative action. Not to mention, affirmative action, if you look at it, and this is the part that everyone that's racist ignores, affirmative action was written in lieu of reparations. That was the purpose in the beginning of affirmative action, but to get votes, to get it to pass through Congress and the Civil Rights Act, they changed the wording away from black Americans to minorities. What the hell is a minority? Then the Democrats, in order for them to sign on, they define the word minority as white women, Asians, Hispanics, anybody else, right? So we never, as black Americans, we never had any law specifically addressing what had occurred in America at that time and before that time. And in the civil rights era, we was facing, as black citizens, we faced Jim Crow. Jim Crow was a bunch of laws specifically written against the foundational black Americans, American descendants of slaves. It was nothing to do with Asians or any other group of people. We had specific laws written against us in America, and this is very recent, 1960s, 70s. This is very recent times. Not to mention the slavery before that. Not to mention the lynching that occurred all the time. Not and to this day we're dealing with police brutality. We are dealing with illegal immigration, forcing the black Americans to finance people that broke federal law. Now, why are the illegal immigrants flooding our black schools? The people that have been denied education during slavery, we given the poorest circumstances during Jim Crow. And now today we have to finance illegal immigrants flooding our schools. A lot is going on, which make me see. I don't care about affirmative action. It didn't benefit black people. I want something better than affirmative action. I, TJ Speaks, want reparations for black Americans, descendants of slaves, foundational black Americans. No longer do we have to deal with them throwing up affirmative action as some type of reparation. We Supreme Court proved the affirmative action wasn't reparations. They just struck it down. So this is furthering the call and the cry for reparations. Black Americans need and absolutely need to demand redress for slavery, Jim Crow, and illegal immigration. This is at the forefront now. Nobody worrying about they funky colleges, the racist colleges. That's not very impressive. Harvard is not impressive. They believe that the 14th Amendment is for everybody. And the 14th Amendment is a constitutional right. So how intelligent can they be if they apply constitutional law to illegal immigrants? That doesn't even make sense. So the white races are jumping up and down, and the Asian races, they're jumping up and down, thinking they got something. Thinking they somehow superior intellectually, which is a very racist statement to say. To go around telling people that black people are stupid and they're the intelligent one, that's a racist statement. To go around and ignore everything that happened in black history to the black descendants of slaves, the specific hatred that's geared towards them, to sit there today in 2023 and pretend that that doesn't exist, it never happened. Everyone wants to forget. Everyone wants to forget what happened during the Civil Rights era. What happened during the Civil Rights era? Jim Crow, segregation, lynching to the black Americans, descendants of slaves. Jim Crow was specifically written for the Negro. Didn't say Asian. Asians were collecting in 1940. Asians collected reparations and were treated like humans. The Negro, the descendant of slaves, was always treated as an animal in America, even though we were citizens. As you can see, illegal immigrants don't even require citizenship, and they're getting treated as if they were citizens. People want to extend birthright citizenship to non-citizens in the case of illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, descendants of slaves, once again, are treated like as if we are not citizens of these United States. Okay, so America, I didn't forget. You violated the civil rights of your citizens, and it's never been addressed. And we never had redress, even though multiple groups, other groups, were redressed, and they did receive reparations. Native Americans, the Japanese, Koreans, I believe, they received reparations, where that's why they have all of those businesses for beauty. America carved out that specifically for the Koreans. The hair beauty business, they have it in the treaty. And what do the black Americans get? The descendants of slaves, the foundational blacks. What do we have? You're going to tell us in the 60s you sold it to our grandparents that this affirmative action was in lieu of reparations. We're going to, instead of giving you reparations, we're going to give you an opportunity in education. Well, your Supreme Court just knocked down our opportunity in education. So reparations, my dear sir, is back on the table. And it always should have been there. Reparations should have always been on that table. It should have never left. Because affirmative action is a law. That's not reparations. We need reparations in the form of a congressional act, something that the Supreme Court cannot take away. They can remove bills, but they can't remove reparations and payments. And that's what we need. We need reparations from the President of the United States and from Congress. We don't need a law. We need reparations. All right? We don't need law. Only thing we do need is temporary. We need to be in a protected class status. That's something that we do need. That's a law that we do have to address as part of our reparation package. with cash payments is that we need protective class status. Okay? Because this country, not for nothing, has a very long history of discrimination. And all of this illegal immigration is added to it. All right? Why are black people paying higher taxes in our community, being flooded with all these? Why are you violating federal immigration law? Just so we can pay higher taxes, so the black citizens can pay higher taxes, so our resources can be drained? Because that's what's going on. This country, America today in 2023, under President Joe Biden, is breaking federal immigration law just to get at black people. Because they're giving all illegal immigrants our resources. Ask the mayor of New York City, Mayor Adams. It's a high black population area. And they're giving our school seats away. They're giving our welfare away. Hell, they even gave them our shelter. What's happening to the black citizens all across this country? Huh? Huh, people? You think that's nice? For your government, the people that you pay to represent you, to flood your neighborhood with people that's not even a citizen of this nation. They didn't even ask for permission to come to America. Matter of fact, they broke the federal immigration law. But they're being treated and placed above you, the citizen. This is another form of discrimination and racism. All of this illegal immigration. There's a way. America has illegal pathways for immigrants. America has to speak to their citizens in order to allow all of these illegal people, all these immigrants in the first place. Because citizens are supposed to get priority in this country. But when you're a black citizen, you don't get a priority. That's what's going on. When you're black, you're not treated as a citizen. No one consults you. They named our cities and towns a sanctuary city without one vote from a black American. Not one vote. We elect these people backstab the black citizens, start giving our money to foreign people without our consent. We never asked to be in no sanctuary city. We don't need these people from other countries. We need our space and opportunity to thrive in America. That's what we need. But that's not what's going on. We're being stifled. We're being forced to pay and to accommodate a bunch of people that broke the federal immigration law. And this is the same country in America that has not paid one dime in reparations for all the crimes against the black Americans. All the crimes they did, not one dime has this country paid. Okay? And that's why we can't let up. We got to keep our foot on their necks. We want our reparations. We want it now. You tricked our grandparents with this affirmative action ploy, which was never written specifically for black people. All right? So now it's time to pay the piper. It's time to pay reparations to the black Americans, descendants of slaves. No more substitutions, no more affirmative action substitute, no more promise of opportunity. You just smacked the entire black Americans, the ones that actually support these stupid people, the mostly black Democrats that vote for them. You just smacked them all in the face. You told them you was giving them affirmative action instead of reparations, then you took it away in your Supreme Court. But once we can collect our reparation payment, they can't take that away. And that's why we need it. You know? Everyone, our strife in America is well documented. Okay? Slavery is well documented. Civil rights era is well documented. The lynching is well documented. And today, look what's happening in California and in Chicago. That's well documented. You gentrified our neighborhoods with a bunch of illegal immigrants to outvote us, and to economically suppress us. But that's not going to go unnoticed. It's not unnoticed. I see it. And if I see it, a million other people see it. I'm no particular genius, but I'm no dummy neither. Okay? America needs to pay, needs to address Black Americans. I'm glad this stupid affirmative action is over. The Asians can take Harvard and shove it up their ass. I wouldn't want to go there. I don't want to go to a school that feels that they are superior to other people. That sounds very racist. I wouldn't want to go to a racist college where you have a bunch of white people, Asian people walking around assuming they are superior, which is insane to me. In today's world, that anybody, any group assumes they're intellectually superior people. And they are so blind, they don't even see this. That's a very racist statement. You never hear me ever say that Black people are superior intellectually to anybody. I speak up for Black rights and against the injustices of Black people. I do not promote superiority. Now, Black people do have a lot of talents, but I still won't say we are unequivocally superior to anybody. And for some reason, the racist people, white and Asians, they get up there and they talk about the NBA. What does the NBA have to do with education and opportunity? What the hell does it have to do with it? NBA is about athletic ability. Can you physically perform the job? It has nothing to do with intellect and opportunity. That's like saying that a disabled person cannot be intelligent. And we know that's not true. Look at Stephen Hawkins. So just assume someone's physical attributes, whether it's their race or disability, and you assuming that you are superior. And they do this every day. They go on TV, they call Black people affirmative action hire. They don't say that to any other race of people. Asians are benefiting. Asians are a minority. They're benefiting from affirmative action. White women are a minority. They're benefiting from affirmative action. And Hispanics are a minority, benefiting from affirmative action. But yet Black people are the only ones called affirmative action hire. They never use that racist slur to any other group. It's specifically towards Black people, and that's why Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, need to specifically demand their reparations and call out America for continuously breaking the federal law. They broke the federal law with Jim Crow, and now they're breaking the federal law with immigration. And we need our reparations. We should not be forced to pay taxes to finance people that break federal immigration law. And the government is making the Black citizens an accessory to the crime, forcing us like slaves to finance illegal people. That is breaking the federal law once again, and the Equal Protection Clause, because our Constitution only states how we are responsible for each other as citizens and nobody else. All this extra freebie given away, my tax dollars making me pay more, that has to stop. And it's going to stop soon. But that's today's discussion. We're talking about Supreme Court. Supreme Court got it wrong. They assumed that the affirmative action had a specific race on it. It did not. It said the word minority. Minority covers Asians, white women, and Native Americans, Hispanics. It's a whole slew of people that's covered under the word minority. But somehow Black people are targeted when it comes to affirmative action, because this country, America, is not sorry for all of the racism, all of the civil rights abuses that it inflicted on the Black citizens. America's not sorry. And that's why I'm a conservative that will continue to fight for reparations for the descendants of slaves. Yes, I am a conservative, a Republican, and I will continue to fight for the reparations for slavery because black citizens deserve the same redress as everyone else. The black citizens, we deserve that. Everyone else is treated like a human, and I demand to be treated like a human as well. Okay? We deserve it. The same redress. Because being set apart, being treated, everyone bullies us. People from all other races and ethnicities bash us. They all have sympathy for the natives. All right? They all have sympathy for the Asians, the Japanese, Koreans, the illegal immigrants. You know, they got sympathy for them. But when it comes to the black Americans, descendants of slaves, no one can have human compassion. And black American descendants of slaves have never experienced human compassion in America. Till this day, it's 2023. To this day, we are treated as if we are not deserving of kindness and humanity. Okay? Everyone, and we talk about our issue, they bring up another group. We talk about what happened to black people, they bring up the natives and this one and that one. When this country was giving reparations to the Native Americans, did they mention black citizens? Did they mention how they need to pay and give land to the black citizens along with the reparations given to the natives? No. When America gave reparations to the Japanese, did anybody mention the black people need love too? That black people need their reparations too? No. But it's when the black citizens demand redress and reparations after many, many years of suffering and being denied human rights in America, it has happened. Just because it didn't happen to your family doesn't mean that it's less worthy of acknowledgement. It has happened. It has happened to us and our families, and we're still living with it today. All this illegal immigrants taking our resources, we are poor. America has never paid reparations, and now you're giving our money to the legal immigrants. You got to be kidding me right now. And everyone wants to ignore it because it didn't happen to them. And that's what makes all of you people that go against the reparations for the descendants of slaves, all of you are animals. You have no humanity. Maybe one day you will. But you don't see me as a human. That's why you can't understand me. I am a human. I am speaking English. But you don't hear me because you're racist. You think you're superior intellectually. You're jealous that my black brothers can perform the NBA. It's not their fault. God made them bigger and taller and stronger, and they can throw the ball in the basket. That is not their fault. But they get so much hate for it. Everyone can get reparations except for the black descendants of slaves. Except for us. Everyone else can have understanding, compassion. Except when it comes to us. And once again, we're living in this racist country with this racist Supreme Court who allowed slavery at one point, guys. They allowed slavery. Jim Crow went on for 100 years under the Supreme Court. Whatever. But we stay for the fight. We don't run. And the fight continues. So God bless. I hope that you find this podcast to be enlightening. And please share, like, and subscribe to this podcast. Especially share. Sharing is caring. We don't need people that get paid from the Democrat Party or the Republican Party to be out here speaking for us. We can speak for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, I am a human and I have my own mind. I'm an independent thinker. Now, maybe you say something that might change my mind. I'm open to hearing you. Okay? So I'll leave it at that. God bless. Power to the people. Keep fighting for reparations. Reparations now. Reparations now. Reparations now. Foundational Black people, stay up. Have a great day.